Video number 38 for violin players, and in this video we're actually going to learn how to use our bow on the instrument. So you should have been doing all of your bow exercises every day so you have a nice bow hold and it's a nice natural thing now. If you haven't been doing those, you are probably not ready for this video. So you might want to make sure you can do your bow exercises with a good bow hold before you attempt to try to actually bow. All right. However, before we actually can bow, we have to do something called rosining our bow. Now, if you have already, even though you weren't supposed to, if you have already tried to play on your instrument with your bow and it didn't make any sound at all, and you think, oh, my bow's broken, something's wrong with my bow, most likely the problem is that your bow is brand new. Even if the bow is not brand new, the horsehair on the bow is probably brand new. Okay, because the bows get rehaired typically once a year, depending on how much you play. Now, in your case, you should have rosin. Rosin, you might want to look in the bottom little pocket that you have. It might look like this with a different color. I've seen orange and red and yellow and green. It might look like this, but most likely it's a rectangular shape. You need to take that out. And it could also be round, but most of you probably have the rectangular one. What rosin does is it creates friction. It's a little sticky, creates friction with your string, and so it actually can make sound. It actually pulls, it's like tiny little plucking all the way through as you pull the bow. If there's not rosin on the bow, it's just going to slip and slide. Now here's the problem with brand new bows. Most beginners have brand new bows and they have brand new rosin, and both of them are slick. So rosining your bow the first time can be a big pain, because first of all you need to rosin it more the first time than you do the other times. But also your rosin, if your rosin looks shiny like this, it is brand new. Okay, see how that's shiny? Now let me compare to one that's been used. This one has been used, okay? The problem is you have a slick bow and you have slick rosin. They're just going to slide against each other for a long time. So normally, if I was there with you, I would take some old rosin to just kind of get it started. But I'm not going to be able to do that. So you have a couple of options. You can either just rosin and rosin and rosin and rosin until you finally get it looking powdery like that. And then, after you've done that, then probably 20 more times. That's only the first time. After that, you only need to probably go like this across with the rosin, maybe 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that'll get you good for 5 or 6 days, again, depending on how much you practice, all right? But for the first time, you have shiny rosin, 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 rosin until it's cloudy, and then rosin probably 20 times more, maybe even more than that. Just kind of depends on how much you're pressing in. Now, some people use a key to scratch it. Just take your keys and run it across. Have your mom or dad happy with that. A coin might also work. I don't like to do that. Sometimes I feel like it promotes it chipping off and breaking. I don't like to do that. I would rather spend 10 minutes trying to rosin and get that powdery stuff. Now, how do you know when there's too much rosin? Well, when you play on the string, if there's a whole bunch of smoke coming up, rosin powder, you've rosined way too much. If it's coming off onto the string a lot, it's going to a little, you've rosined too much, all right? How do you know if you haven't rosined enough? When you actually try to play, it'll still be slick sound and you won't get a sound. All right, so at this time, what you want to do is pause the video, get yourself rosined, and then join back in, okay? Now, what I'm going to show you is what I'm going to have you do with your bow on the string. I'm kind of going to come in close like this, all right? Now, your bow is tightened. We need to make sure our bow is tightened, and you're ready to play. Then I'm going to have you put your bow on the string in the middle. Now, understand, this is not how I'm going to ask you to play, okay? Put your bow on the string, pretend this is your string, and I want you pulling your arm down, not like this, pull your elbow down, your arm down, and I want you to press in as hard as you can, hopefully until the stick hits the bow hair, okay? Now, we're not pressing in that hard to play. I just want you to feel that. And then release, and then press in as hard as you can, and then release, and then press in halfway, and then you're going to hold it. And that's the amount of weight I want you to use when you bow, when you're pressing in halfway, okay? So we'll practice all the way, not at all the way, not at all. Memorizing halfway what that feels like. And then we will move down to the frog, pressing halfway, and this is how we will bow, okay? So after hopefully you've rosined, get your instrument up on your shoulder. For now, go ahead and hold here. If you're really good, you're gonna hold it without your left hand totally, okay? Good bow hold. Okay, put it on the D string and touching only the D string in the middle. Now, using the weight of your arm, I want you to press it all the way. Now, not at all. Now, all the way. Now, not at all. Now, halfway and hold it. Feel that amount of weight. Halfway and hold it. Now, not at all. All the way to the stick hits the hair. Not at all. Halfway hold. Memorize what that halfway feels like. Now, come all the way up here. Now, I want you to be able to reach out and touch your string with your first finger. If you're not there, I want you to move up. If you think that's at the frog, you're not. Get way at the frog. Touching just the D string. Okay, press in halfway. And when I tell you to, you're going to go this speed, and you're going to go from here all the way out till your arm is straight. Just like you did when you had the tube and the stick. Same thing. That far, that fast. And press in halfway. And ready, and go. Pull, freeze. Okay, let's try that again. Get back to the frog. Make sure you can reach out and touch your string. Press in halfway, hold it. And ready, and go. Pull, freeze. Now, if you took too long to get there, if you did yours like this, you need to pull your arm faster, okay? If you did this, but you didn't make it all the way, pull faster. Okay, if you did this, pull slower. That's kind of crazy. Okay, try that again. Press in halfway, and ready, and go. Pull, freeze. All right, now I want you to do two of them. I want you to go down bow, up bow, and ready, press in halfway. Make sure you can reach out and touch your string, and ready, and go. Down, up. Try that again. Ready, and go. Down, up. Okay? Now, check your bow hold, make sure it's good. And we're going to play some with our metronome. All right, now I'm going to move the tempo down to, I normally am at 60. I'm going to move it down to 56 right now. And we're going to go a little bit slower than how we've been playing, okay? Down at the frog, be able to touch your string. Good bow hold, press it halfway. 4 Ds, ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I want you to try echoing. Okay, I'm going to do 4 Ds, you do 4 Ds. Press it halfway, echo me. Go, D, 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 D. All right, now, a couple more things. Where should we bow? Where should we bow? We should try to bow, for now, in the middle between the bridge and the fingerboard. Aim for directly in the middle, okay? Don't be that way over here. Don't be up here. Now, there are two things that are really difficult about bowing. Well, there's really a lot, but two big things. One of them is not hitting 2 strings, and the other one is going straight, all right? So if you're really struggling with the straight, you might go back and do those rosin wraps with the tube on your instrument and make sure your bow arm is opening and closing, okay? Because if you're not opening and closing, that's happening, okay? So open your arm at the elbow and then push in and close it up. Notice how my wrist goes up. Don't overthink it. Just relax your wrist and your elbow and go straight, okay? Let's try some Ds again. Press in halfway. Echo me. And go. D, 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 D. Okay, now if you sound scratchy like this, could be one of two things. It could be that you're not pulling fast enough, or it could be that you're pressing in too hard, okay? Chances are you're just not pulling fast enough. All right, so make sure you're using the whole bow first. If you still sound scratchy, you're pressing in a little too hard. Okay, just a little bit. All right. Now, if you sound airy and wimpy, listen to this. You're not pressing in hard enough. All right, so use more weight on the bow. All right, now let's go to the A string. Now the A string is a little skinnier string. You're going to use a tiny bit lighter, but not much at all. Just a little bit lighter. So kind of think pressing halfway, but not quite halfway. All right, try that now. 4 A's, echo me. And go. A, 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 A. Try that again. A. Now let's do 2 D's and then 2 A's. All right, so you're going to have to switch real quick. 2 D's, 2 A's. Echo me. And go. D, D, A, A. So how do we switch? Just like this. Just like that. Not a very big motion. Now do 2 A's and 2 D's. And go. A, D, D. Okay, now before you try to do the next video, what you should practice is just bowing, just trying to go straight. Use the full bow, okay? Open and close your arm. Good bow hold, pressing halfway. Try to hit only one string, okay? When you can do that just on D, then go on A and practice just on A. When you feel like you've got pretty good at that, now you're still gonna hit 2 strings, probably for a while still. Maybe even like a whole month of practicing every day, honestly. Definitely for the first week, you're still going to hit 2 strings. All right, so give yourself a break. It's going to take time. Then practice going back and forth between D and A. Once you're pretty good at that and you're getting pretty straight and you've got a good bow hold and a good bow arm, then you'll be ready for your next video.